the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second quarterback.
It is Patrick Mahomes, the second, not Deshaun Watson. That was the apple of the Reed-Dorsey eye in Kansas City.
But man, it's a lot to give up for Mahomes, who is a big risk.
So you're saying you gave it, if it's Mahomes, you gave up next year's one.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean Watson just because I think he's the next best quarterback. And, you know, I think you feel more comfortable with who he is. But there's a lot of chatter about Mahomes. So either way, I'm not going to be surprised.
I'm preparing myself for a world where Watson will last longer than two quarterbacks because that's just the stupid way the NFL works. I would take Watson. I don't know that.
I have Watson higher.
Texas Tech lost bad to like Iowa State this year, I think. Like they allow, like he's got to be the first quarterback to go in the top 10 if he's the pick who, you know, allowed 70 points and just had this terrible record. I don't know. I like Mahomes because he's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But I would be terrified to give up a future first round pick to go up into the top 10.
All right. Let's go to Mahomes with Kansas City. Now, I do have a lot of trust in Andy Reid. Andy Reid, the first thing he said was the kid needs a lot of work and is not going to play. Alex Smith is our starting quarterback. So for me, that was a vote of confidence. But why you trade up to get him to wait on him? Like, if he's that good, you went over Deshaun Watson. You traded up, but I still got to wait on the cookies. The cookies ain't ready yet.
Ain't ready.
And I don't believe in the system, the passing system that they have in the Big 12. Guys have not been successful with that transition to the NFL. So now let's get to Deshaun Watson. Basically had 1,000 yards against Alabama with all those pros on the defense. Yep. And these other two teams traded up to get these other kids. And I believe Deshaun Watson with the Houston Texans is in the best situation. Why? Number one, he's on the best team. I believe Bill O'Brien can be a star in the National Football League as far as offensive football and developing quarterbacks with his patience. Now, he's running out of patience with the organization in Houston. So I'm glad he has someone to work with in Deshaun. So I think the Houston Texans, when we look at everything that transpired from Tony Romo, them trading Brock Osweiler, for them to be able to get Deshaun Watson, I believe was the best quarterback, because all of them have flaws.
Yes.
But I believe the only one out of them going to win a championship, if there is one, is Deshaun Watson.
So Patrick Mahomes, I don't like it. I do not like this pick. I mean, and like I said before, projects. Quarterbacks is the only one. They'll take a project, they'll sit him and wait. Oh, he's 2 years away. 2 years away, and you paid him $5-6 million a year for 2 years away? Everybody else that they draft, they expect them to be able to contribute right away. Mm-hmm. I love the Deshaun Watson trade because they didn't have to give up a whole lot to get him. But what they did, swap 25, and they give up next year's number one. Mm-hmm. But this is the best fit. He has the best team. He has the best pedigree. He has the best resume. That's good.
If you're the Chiefs and you're that close and you can certainly fill holes to put you over the top, why are you drafting a quarterback? Why are you trading up to draft a quarterback that doesn't just have bad footwork, has no footwork? And I understand that, and obviously if I'm going to bet on one coach figuring out one of these guys, it's Andy Reid. And Pat Mahomes has a giant arm, and he seems very likable, and he's a great leader. And, I mean, it just speaks to how good he is that Davis Webb was at Texas Tech. And old Kingsbury's like, yeah, sorry, Davis, I know you've been great here the last couple of years, but this Mahomes kid is really something. So have fun at Cal.
But by the way, Andy
Reid
has done his two best QBs that he's worked with are obviously Donovan McNabb, Alex Smith, but he's done good work with even Detmer,
that's what I mean.
Feely,
so
and so on.
Bet up, but it just seems like this is
good for
this
Mahomes.
is not a young team.
No, I would say, but even if you're going to do it, the other thing I would say is Deshaun Watson seems like the more natural Andy Reid guy to me. But
I get
you. I hear with Pat Mahomes from Texas Tech, I grade him out as a second-round quarterback. I know some guys in the league have him second, third round.
The thing that jumps out at me, and we're talking about Mahomes, and it is what it is. People have got to remember just how singular these evaluations are. It's not like it's a group think. It doesn't take – all it takes is one, kind of like selling your house. All I need is one person to think it's valued the same way I am.
Well, they got to bring all cash, though, right?
That too. But you look at, say, at Mahomes, and Andy Reid knows quarterbacks. That'd be great. He loves Mahomes, reminds him of Brett Favre. I get that, okay?
Yes.
But there's some pretty good teams that spend a lot of time. Teams that needs quarterback, okay? Cleveland, San Francisco, Chicago. the Jets that said, no, we don't think this guy's good enough. Now, that's got to give you a little pause.
Well, the common refrain on the NFL draft is it's not a perfect science. We know that. But Pro Football Focus is as close as it gets. Grading every snap a player takes in college, they're able to see the full composite of an NFL draft prospect. Steve Palazzolo, Mike Brenner are both senior analysts for PFF, and they're here with me now. Guys, thanks so much. Let's talk about the QBs first. And Steve, we know you guys have Mitchell Trubisky is the highest-ranked quarterback in your system at 13. Deshaun Watson follows at 17. Patrick Mahomes, 29th. Is this class that much worse than last year's class that had quarterbacks go 1-2?
I don't know that it's that much worse. It's just that all of these guys come with question marks. You know, they're all talented. They're all very good quarterbacks, and it's going to be about fit. It's going to be about system. So I think it very much depends on their situation.
That's the thing. The question marks with these quarterbacks are so much, I'd say, larger than the question marks we saw a season ago with Wentz and Goff. And the high-level sort of traits of each of them aren't as high level as we saw from Goff or Wentz. Wentz had the huge arm. Goff had the great accuracy. None of these quarterbacks in this class sort of have that blend of, you know, all high-level traits that will translate to the NFL. So there's question marks.
Which quarterback do you think is going to have the steepest learning curve once they get into the pros?
I think Patrick Mahomes, just with the offense that he ran and the terminology, being able to, to be able to talk, spit out the plays. The terminology in the NFL. But he's done a great job. I talked to somebody who he was working with, Mike Shepard, down at Exos, and I know he has worked really hard with Patrick on that. But I think just the system and being able to go through all the progressions, the full field read that he's going to have to do at the NFL, I think he's going to have the biggest learning curve.
Coach Calhoun, so when you have a player who's coming from the air raid or the spread offense, what's the first thing you do when you get a hold of them to try to get them ready for the pro style?
I think you want to make sure he's comfortable dropping under center and being able to read defenses as he's dropping. Because it's so different in, being in the shotgun the whole time, kind of catching the ball where your eyes are down. You got to catch the ball first, and then you have to start to, go through your progression. But so you really have to learn how to take a great pre-snap read, but being able to drop, from under center and being able to, use the terminology of the play calling. I mean, that's one of the things that I've seen that a lot of quarterbacks struggle with going to that next level.
Here's how these careers are going to turn out from worst to first. Your guy, Deshaun Watson, is going to be the worst. He's inaccurate. He doesn't know how to throw out of the pocket.
Can I ask a question?
Guys don't learn to be comfortable in the pocket. We saw that with RG3. I thought this was my part.
I'm asking the question. Do you think he's going to be more like an average starter, or do you think he's actually going to fail and in 3 years not be a starter?
No. He's got too many good leadership qualities for that. I think he's just going to be an average guy. I think Mahomes has the biggest upside, got a tremendous arm. If somebody's willing to wait for him, he's the kind of guy in this league in 2017 who can stretch defenses. Of course, it'll be 2019 by the time he gets on the field. And first is Trubisky. He's got the best feet. He's got the most accuracy. I wasn't overly impressed with any of these guys, as you know, but that's how I would rank them.
I like the whole class. I like all three of them for different reasons. I'm going to put Mahomes third because I think Mahomes is either third or first. I think he's the biggest boom or bust. I'm not sure he's going to have an average career. I think he could wash out. I think he could be awesome. So I'm going to hedge, and I'm going to put him at 3 for now. Number 2 is Trubisky. I think he has a lot of good attributes. Number 1 is Deshaun Watson. I think he's got it. I think he's going to be face of a franchise, leader of a team for a decade. Not because of the way he can throw, but the way he can be everything.
And I do think Trubisky is more ready to play in the NFL right now than Mahomes. Mahomes coming out of Texas Tech. I know UNC didn't run a pro-style offense.
5 games?
I mean, come on. Mahomes he's got a lot to work on. Sure, he's got a huge, strong arm, but I've seen a lot of guys come into the NFL who can throw the ball 75, 80 yards. Doesn't mean you're ready to play in the NFL. So I think Mitchell Trubisky.
Right there. That's an easy throw for Dalton. The Kansas City Chiefs no longer have a first-round
Oh, we moved up. We moved up. Oh, we traded for the Bills. Wow, we gave up a lot. We're getting Watson. We're getting Watson.
And this may be the time Deshaun Watson comes out
Yep,
of the green
yep.
room.
With the 10th pick in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Patrick Mahomes, the second.
Really? Really? Are you kidding me? This is why this organization will never win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. I mean, listen, the Chiefs haven't picked a quarterback in 35 years, and when they do, they pick the wrong guy. It could have been like the Bears, and they picked Trubisky, which is they're going to be solid, okay? Or they could have Deshaun Watson, who is just an upstanding human being and a great quarterback and a winner. Instead, they get Patrick Mahomes, who can't even win in college at Texas Tech. You know what, the Chiefs could learn something from the Royals, because the Royals are going to keep winning, but not the Chiefs. This organization is dead. They should just sell the team. Dorsey, what are you doing?
Because to play in the NFL, a certain point you have to. Now,
look at
watch him step up in the pocket.
He's just a goof, man. Look at those mechanics. What were the Chiefs thinking when they drafted? Golly. Okay, all right, well, so he's going to sit. Alex Smith is a winner, okay, so I guess we're going to have to deal with him for a little bit. I'm done with this draft. Man, so they have Tyreek Hill, who I think they're going to put at receiver. I don't know. I don't know what the Chiefs are doing. So apparently he's going to sit behind Alex Smith for the next 3 years. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, it's going to continue to suck to be a Chiefs fan for the foreseeable future. I wish the Chiefs were more like the Bears.
Baby, I'm back. I told my baby, let them talk, that's the caption. I don't even really like being online, that's texting. Started off as an attraction, now it's turned into attachment. Overseas, we relaxing. I ain't think about the past tense. No. Everybody wanna say, all of a sudden y'all believed in me. All of a sudden you want a favor now. All of a sudden you want to be with me. All of a sudden y'all always knew. I remember you ain't seeing it in me. And yes, I know I'm blessed, but sometimes I wish I could go back to the way it used to be, just so I feel what I've been missing. Oh.